Hey, you guys, this is Fabio Hart coming back with another video. What I want to talk about on this video is there's a few things. I probably talked about this stuff before, but every once and again, I like to, address a few things that come through on the email. And maybe I have talked about this, maybe I haven't, but we're going to talk about it today. I'm looking now because I took a few notes because I get so many different emails. I just kind of want to pick and choose kind of what I want to attack here. And speaking of attacking the problem. Okay, attacking the problem. Here's what I'm figuring out. Hello, why you have a because it's actually cold in this building, so they have the air completely turned up. Outside, I take it off. In this building, I kind of keep it on. It's trying to balance it out. But anyway, and I think I'm kind of getting sick anyway. I think so. But attack the problem, guys. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, I get so many emails about, and especially people, kind of want to know why I pick door to door over so many other avenues that you can use to, grow your cleaning business, right? And here's the thing, out of all of the different other avenues, right, that you can use to grow your cleaning business, I find that door to door is generally, hey, how's it going, Melendez? Hi, Jessica. I find that going door to door is the most effective way, okay, is the most effective way because right from the start, people are able to take vitamin C. I'm completely aware. I got some actually in the fridge there, orange juice. But I'm completely aware that uh, it's much easier for a client to deal with you upon seeing you. I mean, they can get a better assessment of you upon seeing you, just hearing rather than hearing you over the phone or you contacting them through the internet. Okay, so that's why I'm a big, that's why I'm all for going door to door. Okay, I find it to be the most effective way. A lot of times you can reach the decision maker quick, even a lot quicker than cold calling, like picking up the phones and making the calls, right? Cold calling is another effective way. It's becoming dated more and more because there's just so many different calls that's coming into people offices, people homes, different things like that. So a lot of times when people call companies or call people over the phone, it's almost immediately people like they have this offense, or defense mechanism that make them not want to take that call or not even want to hear you out. Okay, I mean it's effective. It's just to me it's not as effective as going door to door. Okay, um, like I say, going door to door allow you to meet the decision maker a lot of times pretty fast. Okay, pretty quick and allow you to actually get into that account pretty quick. Okay. You'll be amazed by just going door to door how many like desperate business owners there is out there, how many people that's just waiting for somebody like you to come in the doors to clean their facility. Okay, so that's why I'm really, really big on going door to door. But let's just kind of backtrack a little bit, talking about attacking the problem. A lot of you guys have different issues, right? That's going on in your cleaning business. And the thing is that you're trying to run away from that issue. You're trying to, in other words, let's say you have a marketing issue, or let's say you tried this marketing campaign and it didn't work as much as you wanted it to work. You can always reevaluate your marketing campaign, right? Whatever that campaign is, you can always reevaluate it. But most people see where it doesn't work right off the bat and they just kind of run away from it. They say, well, this doesn't work for my company. This is not meant for me, or whatever the case is, and they kind of run away from it. I find when you run away from any problem, the problem never gets solved. Okay, it's almost like having a cavity, right? You have a cavity in your mouth. If you run away from that, eventually that cavity will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it'll turn into a huge mess for you, right? So you have to treat your business the exact same way. You can't run away from the problem. You have to attack the problem head on. Okay. So hopefully you guys are grasping that and knowing that if you don't attack it's going to only become bigger. Okay, it's not going to get better. It's going to become bigger, and it's going to be a whole big mess for you. Okay. Number two, it looked like I'm moving slow here. I don't know if what the connection is like here, but hopefully everything is good. Number two, someone asked me to say, Fabio, you're so confident, so motivating. What was the biggest problem you had in your commercial cleaning business? And to be honest, man, it wasn't marketing. It wasn't picking up contracts. It was actually getting good employees. Okay. Over the years, my biggest problem ever with my commercial cleaning business was absolutely picking up great employees, training them to, to the max, uh, keeping them working for me, right? So I had to find out different ways and different formulas to be able to hire and fire and still, or I should say, maintain very, very, very good employees. And once I changed up, because at first it was like, and I talk a lot about this in other videos. At first, what happened was the minute somebody applied or put in an application with me, right, I almost felt to a certain degree that I had to hire them, and I had to get out of that mindset, which is why I tell most of you guys, or pretty much everybody, to always have more applications than you have positions, right? When you got a bigger pool, when you got a bigger app pool to pick from, you don't pick off an impulse. But let's say you have 5 accounts and you have no applicants, you're almost going to hire the next person that come in the door, right? Because you're kind of hiring off an impulse. You want to hurry up and get this position filled, right? So, but when you have a big pool of applications, and let's say you have those same 5 spots, and you have 20 apps, it broadens your reach a little bit, right? It gives you different options and different people to kind of look into to see who would be the better quality, the better fit for that job. Okay, opposed to just hiring the next person to come into the door. Okay, so again, and I learned that early on because at first, like I say, I would get an account and then the next person that put in the application with me, no matter how they found me or whatever the case was, I would just hire them, right? And I would, think that they were going to do what I needed them to do, and I wouldn't really interview them too tough. I would kind of ask them a few things, and then I'll go ahead and try to train them and put them to work. That's not the best way I found to hire employees. I found that you should have a series of questions, and I tell you guys this all the time in some of the older videos. You should have a series of questions that you should ask them to kind of see where their mindset is and to see why they want to work for you. What make them put the application in with you? Why are they looking for employment? Right? What benefit are they trying to obtain with working from you? Right? So you want to kind of ask a lot of different little like questionnaire type of questions because you want to get an idea of the personality trait that you're dealing with. Right? Because if they're not a good fit, then not to hire them. You'll know that off rip after upon interviewing them. You'll know that okay, this person won't be a good fit, so I pretty much won't hire this person. Guys, if you're just joining me, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Right now, I would greatly appreciate that. Okay. So yeah, that was my biggest problem in the early on stages of my commercial cleaning business. Fast forward to today, I have a pretty solid team across the board. Whether we're talking about Ohio, whether we're talking about Michigan or Georgia, I have a pretty solid team. Okay, people quit for different reasons every day. Sometimes people quit because the work is just you know, overwhelming. Sometimes people quit because they got a better paying job, all of which I understand, right? So that's why you have to have a training program within your organization that will allow you to maintain a lot of good workers or identify who your good workers are and be able to maintain those workers. Another thing that I found that motivate these workers is money, right? Like when you interview them and you ask them, uh, why are you looking for work? Why, if we hire you today, what would be your, Um, what would you be looking to gain by working with us? That type of thing. Among experience and this and this and that, almost all the time they say money, right? Oh, well, I need money. I would have to be able to pay my bills and this and this and that. Now, here's the thing. I found when people are really, really in need of the money, a lot of times people will stick around. At the very least, until something come available that's paying more or that's a better fit for whatever their qualifications are, whatever they want to do, whatever they're like, or whatever they like to do, right? So a lot of times people would just, hang tight, work with you, and then when something come available that's paying more, then they'll jump ship. And it's only logically thinking about it, that's only probably the right thing to do. I mean, that's probably something we've all done before, or something that we all would do if a better paying job come available, right? So you have to kind of keep that in mind. Okay. Now, in the very, very beginning, I like to tell people don't be cheap when paying your employees. Okay. When you be cheap, you're going to get cheap like work, or they're not going to stick around. But also, I don't want you to go bankrupt in the beginning either. Okay. So you have to be able to find a even ground with that particular employee. So when interviewing them, you let them know, okay, we started off at such and such a dollars per hour, and there is room for growth in the next 30 to 90 days. Okay, where you can, throw a few more pennies on top of what they're currently getting and give them a raise per their job performance. Okay, because you don't want to start a man off and you're paying him real, real good, and his job performance is poor or subpar to say the least. Okay. So again, that was the hardest part for me in the early on stages. After I got my first account, like I say, everything started picking up more, my confidence level. And I tell people that all the time. When you get your first account, just ask some of the people that just landed their first account, right? The confidence level, you feel a certain way about yourself. You feel like you can actually do this business once your first account come in. But prior to getting your first account, it's kind of up in the air in terms of the way you think about business, how you feel about, is this really for you? Can you really do this? You're kind of all over the place with it, right? So, again, um, if I had to give you guys any pointers, find a way to maximize your people skills. Okay, whether you watch videos or you watch uh, or you read books or anything like that about dealing with people and people management, that type of thing, because you're going to absolutely need that. Excuse me. You're going to absolutely need that to effectively deal with different personality traits and dealing with your employees. Okay, I kind of cultivated as I grew. I'm by nature I'm really good with people, right? But sometimes you kind of have to figure out people motive, and then you have to kind of match that with what's going on, at these different sites, or kind of match that energy with your energy, whatever it is that you can help them with, right? You help them, they help you. And I found that to work very well for me. That's why I don't have a high turnover rate. Most of the time, when people leave me and go somewhere else, or whatever the case is, it's either they're moving, or they're going back to school, um, or they found a higher paying job, that type of thing. But generally speaking, I don't have to fire a lot. Like, I've gotten stories from some of you guys where you hire somebody, they're with you for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they stop showing up. They no call, no show. They disconnect their phone number. You can't reach them no more. They give you some sob story at the very last minute of why they couldn't come to the job, or why they couldn't make it to the site. So all of these different things I have heard from some of you guys before. But like I say, you want to be close to them, but you don't want to be extremely close to them, right? And what I mean by that, guys, is that with my employees, they're able to reach me directly, right? Now, I will prefer them to deal with the field supervisors, right? The people that I have in place as supervisors to kind of govern these things. But in the event that they can't reach the supervisor, they are able to reach me directly. And that's whether it's the people that work for me in Georgia, the people that work for me in Ohio, Michigan, they are able to reach me directly. Now, I would suggest that you guys, and here's the thing, and I had one, a few people tell me this before. A few people on my channel have employees, right? They're not family, they're not friends. And those employees call them at a certain time of the night that irritated them, right? They were wondering why this person was calling. Guys, look, listen, please listen to me. Hear me out here. You would rather your employee call you at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, while he or she is at a site because they don't know what to do with this or that or the other, opposed to them just totally ignoring it and you getting a call from the contact person at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, right? You get a call from the contact person at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll probably be thinking like, wow, why didn't the employee call me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? When they were at the site. Now you got to hear from the contact person because you have your employee feeling some type of way about calling you at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, if you don't have any field supervisors, guys, then you have to be that field supervisor along with the owner, right? You essentially, right? Because if they don't know what to do, they have to have somebody to reach, somebody to depend upon to get their questions answered, right? So, to get some guidance. So again, guys, uh, I want to I want to hone in on that and let you guys know that you do want to be available for your employees. Once again, going back to be close with them, but not too close. You don't want to be so close where you're going to the hockey games together, right? You don't want to be so close where you're going to the basketball games and the football games and having pizza parties and this type of thing, right? You don't want to be that close with them, but you want to be close enough with them where they feel like you are approachable, okay? Again, dealing with your employees, you want to have a close relationship with them, but you don't want to be too close with them. Okay? Being too close with them will give them kind of like the mind frame of they can do what they want. They know the owner. I heard that before. I know the owner. Um, I'm good. The owner liked me, that type of thing. You don't want to get your employees that cocky where they feel like they can just do what they want to do because they built a certain relationship with you. Okay? That's why I say you want to be close with them because you want them to be able to pick up the phone and call you or contact you or shoot you an email or whatever the case is. You want them to be able to do that without feeling, like, will I get in trouble for doing this or will I be bothering the owner, right? You want them to be able to do that, but you don't want to be too close, like I said. Okay. Number three, what I want to talk about. A few people will say, well, Fabio, your channel is geared more to commercial cleaning. On certain videos here and there, you talk about residential cleaning. They ask me, why do I favor commercial cleaning over residential cleaning? I'm sure I answered this before, but for some of my new subscribers or what have you, I'm going to go ahead and answer it again. Okay. Here's the thing. I like residential cleaning. I think if you're looking to make money really, really fast, and this is just my personal opinion, others, YouTubers might think something different, but I think if you're really looking to make money fast, residential cleaning could be the way to go, right? Because you can get that revenue at the end of the day, right? You can clean it today, get paid today. You can clean it, today, you can get paid by the end of the week. It's your business, so it's however you set it up, right? So you can get paid quickly, you can get paid fast with residential cleaning, opposed to commercial. You're usually waiting at the very least a net 15, which is like basically bi-weekly, and at the very most, generally speaking, I've heard people wait up to 60 days to get a check. I want to say, 30 is common, a net 30, but I've heard people say they had their business set up for like a net 60. They get paid every 60 days, Well, that would be hard for most companies, right? It would just be hard for most companies to, even starting out, to wait 60 days to get the check. So I would say at the very least 15 days. At the very most, for this particular example, we're going to use 30 days, right? Most people really like need that money, and they like need it really like now. So that's why I say, well, residential would kind of get you through if you kind of need money now, right? If you need it on the spot. But if you want that long term uh, longevity, then I would suggest probably commercial cleaning. Another thing that separate commercial from residential, I need some water. That separate commercial from residential is the fact that residential is more prone to stop in service just abruptly. Okay, residential is more prone to stop in service abruptly. So if you've been working for 3 months doing this residential cleaning, at any given time they could just be like, well, we don't need you today. We're all set for next week, whatever the case is, and they can stop service, which ultimately stop a what? It stop a check. Opposed to commercial, on the other hand, commercial, they're really not trying to stop service, and when they do stop service, it's generally speaking not temporarily. They're going with a total new company. You're being fired, you're being replaced, whatever the case is. That's their way of stopping service, right? But they won't do some of the things that residential contracts or what residential accounts do, right? By just stopping service. So I feel like on the commercial side, and again, that's just my opinion, guys. I feel on the commercial side, the money is a little bit more guaranteed, right? As long as you do a good job, you show up, you do what you're supposed to do, the money is going to keep flowing. The money is going to keep coming in, right? It's going to be on a residual basis, especially when you get a good crew, right? You get a good cleaning crew to clean. You don't have any complaints about them. It's going to run like clockwork, right? It's just going to run the way it's supposed to run. Not saying that can't happen with the residential, but like I say, I've seen this happen even personally within my business, where you're cleaning, you might be there 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then on the seventh week, they tell you they don't need cleaning, which means you don't get a check because you didn't clean, right? So, like I say, if you're looking to make money up front and you kind of really looking to make it really quickly, I would probably suggest residential. If you okay with waiting, and you can net in at 15 or net a 30, and you're okay with that, and you want to get that more residual basis going, then I would probably suggest that you do commercial. So that's the reason why. Let me see. That's the reason why I favor commercial over residential. Okay. Now, there's money to be made in both of them. Okay. There's successful commercial cleaning companies out here. There's successful residential cleaning companies out here. If you ask somebody that's pro residential, they probably give you all the good reasons why they feel residential is better than commercial. You ask a residential guy, vice versa, right? He'll tell you all the good reasons why you should do commercial instead of residential. Okay? And then you have companies out there that's like me that do them both, right? I do them both. It's just I have more commercial accounts than I do residential. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, I would love to go ahead and entertain them real quick. Um, if not, we can kind of wrap this thing up. I just kind of really wanted to go live. Talk specifically, I'm really wanting to talk about the problems. I want to attack the problems because it looked like a lot of people is having a lot of problems within their commercial cleaning business. Array of problems from employees to um, complaints with the actual client, their actual client. I've had a few of those happen. Okay, I wanted to know, do you? Yeah. They, I'm sure they sent it out for you, Chris. So, um, yeah. So attack the problem. Attack the problem. Okay. Don't ignore the problem within your organization, within your company. Okay, like I said, once you do, because if you continuously to ignore the problem, then it's only going to become a bigger problem and it's going to be a disaster for your business. Okay, so do not ignore the problem, attack it head on. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, from all of the points that I really wanted to talk about, um, not a problem. Let me see. I can believe that vitamin C. You guys have any questions? You have any questions? I would love to go ahead and answer any questions that you guys might have. Um, Residential, commercial, any other niche market of commercial cleaning, we could go ahead and talk about it. Let's see here. Let's see here. Fabio, what strategy do you use to get into apartment cleaning? Door to door, door to door, and I also use like the flyer method, right? So like sometimes like on the weekends, and this is rare for me now. I haven't done it in a while, but like on the weekends, I'll show up, maybe at the leasing office. A lot of times they'll be closed. I'll leave a flyer, leave a door hanger, excuse me, and then when they come in Monday, they'll get in, and a lot of times they'll call you because they have work. And to me, to be honest, man, no, apartments is some of the easiest accounts to get into, but they can be some of the most demanding, right? They can be some of the easiest ones to get into, but they can be very, very demanding. And what I mean by that, you want to have a great, great crew going into something like that, okay? Um, because if not, you won't last long. And it'll feel like you waste your time. Like you go through all these different channels and all of these different ways to get into the account, and you get the account, but then you won't keep it long because the workload is too demanding or you don't have the manpower to handle it. But door to door is the way that I tend to like to go. Whether I'm going like on the weekend or whether I'm going throughout the week, it's the same approach. As you go into any other count. A lot of times, depending on the actual apartment facility, apartment building, apartment complex that you go into, a lot of times they property management own. So it's nothing that the leasing office could actually do for you. They'll kind of transfer you over to the actual property management because that'll be the company that hired you in. That would be the group of people that hired you in. So, but it can be a lot of good money to definitely be steady work, right? It'll always be work in apartment complexes. But again, like I say, they could be some of the easy to get into, but some of the most overwhelming to just work for, to try to keep. Like I said, and it really boiled down to the training of your employees. A lot of times, employees start doing it, they'll do it for 3 weeks or whatever the case is, and then they'll get tired and then they'll stop showing up or call off, or they just tell you they don't want to do it no more. So, so yeah. Any more questions, guys? More questions? I want to go ahead and get those questions out there. Any more questions? Any more questions before I let you guys go? Any more questions, guys? You got any more questions? We at like the 30-minute mark. All right, well, I guess that'll wrap it up. If you guys do have any more questions, you can always email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, and that's going to do it. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.